When you dance to Yahweh. When you sing to Yahweh. Get on your feet and dance to Yahweh. Raise your hands, give praise to Yahweh.
He wants you to be Hanako.
Get on your feet and dance to Yahweh. Raise your hands, give praise to Yahweh.
Shabbat shalom to the Mishpachah of Yahweh.
Shabbat shalom.
Mishpachah here, and the Mishpachah that might see it on TV, Can TV, Evanston TV, YouTube, and on the website. We pray that if you watch any of those, this program will be a blessing to you. We're on the lesson of what is the day of Yahweh. Because a lot of people think that the day of Yahweh is the Sabbath.
Yeah.
We don't hear people talk about it too much now, but I'm not talking about it, so it informs me that they're still in the same mind that it is the Sabbath day. Either it's the real one or the one that they have made up they think it is, okay? Which is the first day of the week. But anyway, we left off last week in Yahweh chapter 46. Jeremiah chapter 46 and verse 10. We'll read that again.
For this is the day of Yahweh Elohim Sabaoth, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate, and made drunk with their blood. For Yahweh Elohim Sabaoth hath a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates.
That's a mouthful that Yahweh going to do. So he taking what? Vengeance upon his adversaries. I mean, adversary means his own one was contrary to what he was saying, was against what he was saying, against what he told us to do. They was all against it. No, he don't mean that. We got the prescription. We got it down pat. You do this, but he says do this. So all those adversaries, and you and I don't want to be one of his adversaries. We want to be on his side. Because this is going to happen to an adversary, so we want to be his friend. We want to be on his side, so we won't be an adversary. So all that we read last Shabbat, Layil, and we're reading this Sabbath, Layil, we're seeing things going to happen to the adversary. This is what called the day of Yahweh. He's coming back and taking vengeance on his adversaries who have plenty of time to evaluate and study his word and make a choice. And they have not made a choice.
That's right.
So they remain his adversary. We was his adversaries at one time. But we got the word, we made a change, so now we're no longer his adversary. So if you're an adversary of Yahweh, then make the change like we did, so you won't be his adversary. Praise Abba Yahweh. It's a time of war. It's not a time of Sabbath day. It is a time of rest and holler in Yahweh. So it's not talking about the Sabbath. So he's talking about it's a day of war.
Yeah.
Look at Yahshua or Ezekiel chapter 13. So this is not the day that people think is just so happy, but it's not a happy day.
It's not. It's the day of God's vengeance.
It's not, especially for his adversaries.
Yeah.
It can be a happy day for you and I who have changed sides.
That's right.
We change sides. We are welcome in this day,
Yes.
and we are looking for this day. So therefore, we're doing this thing to prepare for when this day comes, so we be on the right side.
Yep.
It's all about being on the right side.
Only one side.
The right side is to be on Yahweh's side.
That's right.
Hallelujah. So, Yahshua or Ezekiel chapter 13 and verse 5 says,
Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh.
So you and I are the people who are not that still his adversaries. They have not made up. They have not went into the gap. They have not did what they're supposed to do. What they're supposed to do, tell people about him so they can make a informed decision.
Yeah. That's
Tell
right.
people about him. Tell people about this day
Yeah.
so they can have an informed decision, and whether they make it or not, they had the opportunity because he was there. So
That's
let's
right.
go back up and start at verse 1 and read on down. Because this is woe unto the foolish Navis, the foolish prophets. So we got foolish prophets that telling people a bunch of junk out here, okay?
Yeah, teach it so people know just like it is.
They got people's mind on prosperity,
Uh-huh.
and they forgetting about the day of Yahweh.
That's right.
You're gonna be looking for prosperity when the day of Yahweh come up on you, and then it's too bad because the vengeance, Yahweh is coming. And in verse 1 says, read it again, read it.
And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy,
Mm-hmm,
and say unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts,
mm-hmm.
Hear ye the word of Yahweh.
So hear ye the word of Yahweh.
That's right.
Shema ye the word of Yahweh. So these people are prophesying out of their own mouth.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
got billions of them out there prophesying out of their own mouth,
That's right.
telling you, giving you a Dr. Good, feel good pill,
Uh-huh.
but they're not giving you the Yahweh's Dabar.
That's right.
And Yahweh's Dabar make you feel better, and it's going to last forever.
Yes, it is. Praise of Yahweh.
And that feel good pill they give you, it lasts during that hour or 2 hours that he's talking to you.
Yeah.
And when it's over with, you're right back in the same state.
right.
So you should not be in the same state after you leave.
That doom and gloom.
Okay, you should still have that joy when you
Yeah.
leave.
Right.
Because the
Praise God.
revelation of Yahweh's knowledge has been revealed to you, and you know what's going to happen, and now you got joy. All right, next verse says,
Should have.
Thus says Yahweh Elohim, Woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit
Mhm.
and have seen nothing.
Nothing.
follow their own spirit and have not seen nothing.
Nothing of Yah.
Nothing.
Not of Yah.
All what they follow and what they see, not
Uh-huh.
the spirit that they getting and what they see, the vision that they getting is not coming from Yah, it's coming from Satan.
Yeah. That's like it is.
And he said, "Oh Israel,
Thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert.
mm-hmm. They're like foxes in the desert.
Yeah,
We
they
see them
are.
all the time. They're like foxes in the desert. Not only Israel prophets, but those who other nations, they like foxes in the desert too.
Yeah.
Praise
All
Yahweh
of
Yahweh.
That's not following Yahweh.
Right. And it reads,
Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh.
Huh.
so we have to build up the head so we can stand in the day of battle. The people need to be able to stand in the day of battle. And the only way they can stand in the day of battle, they have the word of Yahweh. And then they can stand in the day of battle, okay? Verse 6 says,
They have seen vanity and lying divination,
Mhm.
saying, Yahweh saith, and Yahweh hath not sent them,
mm-hmm.
and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word.
So you got people hoping that they confirming Yahweh's word, which they're not, even though they got the book in front of them,
Uh-huh.
and they're reading the book, and most of the time they say in the book don't mean what it says.
Don't know
Okay.
already.
It doesn't really mean what it says. See, he means it this way, no. He means it the way he said it,
Thus
okay?
says Yahweh.
You have not performed your duty. You have not told the people the truth.
Right.
You
right.
call the people to forget my name,
Uh-huh.
forget my Shem for Baal.
Yeah.
And how many people you hear when you watch TV using his name?
Not too many.
You get Lord,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
and now one of them is his name, right?
No, it's not praise.
Okay.
Yahweh teach you so people can know.
And the other one, they hear what? Jessus all the time. Okay? But that's not his name. He said they forgot my name. So they're telling people something that's untrue. So therefore, he got a controversy, which therefore, you're on the wrong side.
Yahshua teach you
Because
just
you
like
are worshiping a false deity. You're worshiping something that man made up and not what Yahweh made,
That's right.
what
Teach
Yahweh
it.
instructed us to do. He never instructed us to call up on JESUS,
No, he didn't.
no LORD, but his name, Yah or Yahweh,
That's
all right,
it. Praise Yahweh.
or El Shaddai,
That's right.
or El Elyon. Why is it so hard for you to say? That's English. Now, if I write it in the Hebrew letters, then you can say that's Hebrew, but I just spoke it to you in English, right?
That's right. Teach it just like
And I can spell it to you in English, so you can't say you got to get off that tub about, hey, I speak English, that's why I don't use Hebrew. But when you read in the Testaments, there are some Hebrew words and have some Greek words you pronounce. Okay, Apollyon, that's a Hebrew word. You say you don't speak it, but you read that scripture oftentimes. Or Apollyon, so that's Greek and the Hebrew. So you're speaking both of them, but it's in English form.
That's
So you
right,
can stop
that's
saying
right.
that. So when we say Yah or Yahweh, it's in English form.
That's right. Just like
We're
it
not
is.
saying Yahweh.
Yeah.
We're saying, even if I say that's English, right?
Okay.
Only if I put the letters up there
That's right.
and don't say them, I just put them out to you and say, okay, this is the name, and I say this. Well, you don't know those alphabets. Just if you don't know the English alphabet, then I can say A, N, D is A, and you still don't know because you
That's
know the
right.
alphabets, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But
Just
if you
like
know
it
the
is.
alphabets of the Hebrew, then you can see the YHWH and know what it's talking about, okay?
Uh-huh.
What it makes up the 4 letters YHWH, okay? So, this is how you prepare people for the battle, because you got to battle cause people against the name of Yahweh. They're against that name. They're comfortable with this pagan name.
Uh-huh. Just like it is.
And there's nothing happening, right? But
Right.
it's a time for war. So it's a war going on out here in this world just to get them to know about his name. To get them to know about his name. Once they receive his name, they won't have too much problem with keeping the Shabbat, or his holy days.
No, you won't.
They won't have no problem.
No, you won't. It'll be a joy, a Shabbat.
Okay, let's look at Iyshshah chapter 2. So it's a time, when we read about it, it's a time when Yahweh going to rise to what? Set the battle
Yeah.
in the earth. He going to shape it or shake the battle in the earth.
That's right.
So it's not no good time for you to be hanging around there. You think you're gonna looking at like watching 2020 or something, but it ain't that gonna happen that way, okay? It's chapter 2 and verse 19 says,
And they shall go into the holes of the rocks
mm-hmm,
and into the caves of the earth
mm-hmm.
for fear of Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
Rise and shake the earth. So you hear people reading this word of Yahweh. If you got a Bible, then you go to the scripture and read it yourself.
Right.
And then evaluate it and see and ask Yahweh, is this really true?
Huh.
So is this going to really happen? Are you really going to do this?
Yeah.
You heard people say he's a elder don't lie, right?
Yeah.
So then you read it and receive it for yourself, and then you find out that he don't lie. Then you'll be more prone to doing what he's saying,
That's
right?
Praise
You'll be
God.
more prone to getting prepared
Yeah.
off the adversary list and onto the friendship list,
That's right.
okay?
Praise God, Yahweh. That's right.
But when somebody giving you that Dr. Good pill and make you think, okay, you don't need this no more,
Huh.
you know, everything's done away with,
That's a lie. Don't believe it.
that's that Dr. Good pill,
Yeah.
right? You feel good pill, but it's only for a moment, okay?
That's right.
So even if you get high off of crack or whiskey or whatever, it only lasts for a while. You come down, or you got to stay drunk, or you got to stay high all the time to not know what's going on. I don't think even if you stay high all the time, you still couldn't get what's going on in your life, okay?
You're right. Ain't no escaping your fate.
So what is the next verse say?
In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver
Mm-hmm.
and his idols of gold which they made each one for himself
Mhm.
to worship,
Mm-hmm.
to the moles and to the bats.
He say there's no good for me.
Now they gonna do what? They gonna throw them away now, huh?
Late.
But you waited too late. Well, the song is too late now. Well, don't let it be too late for you.
That's right. You got time. is
You
now.
got time is now. So use the time wisely. So he's telling you, time is now.
That's right.
The time out for playing.
That's right. He warned us.
Time out for playing.
That's right.
So here in 19, he's telling you the time out. You're gonna throw away that stuff. Cause now you seeing it, but now people are reading to you now. You don't want to see it now, cause everything may look like it's going okay with you right now.
That's it. That's
But when it
okay.
stops going, and then you really see the reality, then you're gonna say, "Oh," but it could be too late.
That's right.
So the day that you hear it,
That's right.
harden not your pay or your mind.
That's right. Praise
Start
God.
conforming,
Yeah.
cause the day of Yahweh is coming.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So-
it is Yahweh.
And you don't want that to come on you unaware. So he's gonna shake. He's gonna rise to shake turbulently the earth.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
You don't want that to happen while you on the wrong side, right?
Yeah, you think he's doing
Let's
it.
look at a little side note in the New Testament in Revelation 6 and chapter 6 and verse 15 and 16. See, because the Bible always got the same thing. It never changes.
That's right. Line upon line, precept upon precept.
In spite of the people of the world, they want to try to make it two different books, okay? Praise Abba Yahweh.
His son.
All right, 6, 15, and 16, I said?
Yes.
All right, and then read.
And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
You see what's happening? So you don't want to be there, right? And you got the opportunity now to not to have to be in that shape, right?
That's right.
Not to have to run and ask to hide under the rocks and things, cause Yahweh's giving you an opportunity, right?
You can't
So,
hide.
ain't no hiding, please. So the rocks gonna tell you, get away from here. I ain't got nothing for you. Dens and in the rocks or in the sewer of the mountains, and
It said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Huh.
and from the wrath of the Lamb. So you have a warning here to let you know this is going to occur.
Yes, it is.
That's the day of Yahweh.
That's right. And it
When
ain't
his wrath
Sabbath.
going to be poured out, now you know this is going to happen. You got insight in it, letting you know it's going to happen,
Yes, it is.
and how to stop this from happening to you.
Uh-huh.
Get on his side, right?
That's right.
Get on Yahweh's side, then you don't have to worry about this,
That's right.
okay? So it said then you won't have to be running after, hide me from the wrath of the Lamb.
Huh.
So follow up, look at Hosea chapter 10 and 8 and Luke chapter 23 and 30. Read those. But you got enough information right now. But when we read verse 15, it referred you back to Isaiah chapter 2 and 19 that we already read. So
That's right.
we got the theme all the way through the book.
Uh-huh.
Way over here in the middle of the Old
Praise
Testament.
Yahweh. That's right.
Way over here in the
Praise
last book of the New Testament, telling you the same thing. It's going to happen.
God. Yes, it is.
The day of Yahweh is going to come, right?
Yeah.
Get prepared. It's coming. Praise Abba Yahweh.
Son.
So you won't have no excuse. Let's look at stay in Revelation since we over here. Let's look at chapter 1 and verse 10. Hey, I mentioned it last week where a lot of people say, it said in verse 10, it said, I was in the Ruach in Yahweh's day, or young, and I shamad behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. So he heard it, and it was telling him something. And all these things we were reading about, he got the information on it, And he's telling us these things that happen. These things are going to happen. How it's going to happen. So we need to be prepared for that.
That's right.
But if we're not prepared for that, then we won't know. We already read Joel 2:1 and Amos 5:18. Let's look at Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 11 through 15. Zephaniah. I think we read something in there last week too. Well, let's go back there again. Zephaniah. Zephaniah 1:11 through 15. And it reads, when you get it,
How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down.
yes.
All they that bear silver are cut off.
Yep, so your silver ain't gonna help you none. When day of wrath come, you can't pay nobody to hide you. You can't pay the rocks to hide you. You know you can't pay nobody else to hide you, right? They might take your money, but they can't hide you. So if they can't hide you, so get on the right track now, so you won't have to look for somebody to hide you, right? Verse 12 says,
And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles,
mm-hmm,
and punish the men that are settled on their lees,
mm-hmm.
that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil.
What? They say he ain't gonna do good or evil. Well, he already doing good, but he don't want to do this evil, but his evil coming because of what? You refusing to change. You refusing to make a change. Therefore, if everybody made a change, then the day of Yahweh wouldn't have to occur, right? But it's not going to happen. But prayerfully, there's going to be some that's going to change. So the day of Yahweh won't affect them, but it's going to affect those that what? Don't believe. So now things are continue to go on like they was way back then. Okay. But it ain't over with yet. Next verse says,
Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation.
mm-hmm,
They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them.
mm-hmm,
And they shall plant vineyards,
yeah,
but not drink the wine thereof.
mm-hmm. So they're gonna do all this and they ain't gonna get no result. Why? Because the time is not there no more, right? The day of Yahweh is coming, so you don't really need that. But next verse says,
The great day of Yahweh is near.
mm-hmm,
It is near.
mm-hmm.
Hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
So why you want to wait and cry bitterly? Time is now. Make a change, right? Okay. So next verse says,
That day is a day of wrath.
yes,
A day of trouble and
Yeah.
distress.
yes,
A day of wasteness and desolation.
mm-hmm,
A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness.
So that don't sound like a good day, right? So you're not looking forward for that day, or not to be a part of that day. Okay, you want to be not a part of that day, but the day is going to come, but you don't want to be a part of that day. But somebody's going to be a part of that day. For the people that are going to be a part of that day, those are the people who have not made the change.
That's right.
They have not made the transfer. So if you haven't made a change to turn away from sin and turn to Yahweh, this is what you can look for. This day is coming, and you don't like this day. So like when you have your holidays, you don't want it to rain. Okay? You want to be out there barbecuing and doing whatever you're doing, right? So this is you don't want this kind of day on your picnics, right? Well, you should not want on this kind of day that Yahweh is talking about that's going to come, because it's coming to bring his wrath upon you. You should not want to be having that kind of day. So you want to have a day where you're going to celebrate, like the Masa feast, okay, or the trumpet feast. This is how you want to have that day. You want to have that good day. You want to have
Yeah.
good day, clouds and everything, good sunshine, everything. All right.
Great day.
One of them be all these clouds and thinking whether it's gonna rain. Maybe it's gonna rain, or maybe it ain't gonna rain. A storm coming, or what? You want a good day, and Yahweh got a good day for those who would what? Do His will, right?
Right. Wait
So
on
if you do His
Yahweh.
will, then you don't have to worry about these things. So
Praise our Yahweh.
these are the days, the time you don't want to happen to you. So people get ready.
That's right.
The train is coming.
Yes, it is.
Look at Acts chapter 2 and verse 20. Acts chapter 2 and verse 20. So He's telling us all through the book,
Yes, he is.
prepare yourself, change.
Uh-huh.
It need to be a change. The day of worship in the Old Testament. We need a day of worship. We need people to worship. We have a day of worship. Yahweh appointed a day of worship.
Yes, he did.
He appointed His feasts. He appointed Passover. He appointed the Feast of Unleavened Bread,
That's right.
Feast of Weeks,
Help him, man.
Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Tabernacle, the last great day.
Yeah.
All these days that Yahweh has, and the majority of the world have no idea what they
No,
are.
they don't. Teach it, tell
But-
like it is.
All the other days they know Him,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they look at us like we crazy when we keep
Yeah,
these
that's
days,
right.
but
We cuckoo for Yahweh's God.
and gonna be cuckoo for Him forevermore. Praise our Yahweh.
Praise our Yahweh. Praise Yahweh.
Look at Acts chapter 2 and verse 20, and it reads,
The sun shall be turned into darkness.
this is in the New Testament, it's telling you this.
Right,
So don't be
right.
talking about, He just standing over there in the Old Testament. Hey, what did it say? Is the book of Acts in the New Testament? Okay, what they call the New Testament
Right.
is the New Testament, right? And it reads,
And the moon into blood
mm-hmm.
before that great and notable day of Yahweh come.
So these things going to happen before that great day. So when you see it coming, you know that the day of Yahweh, that's the day of Yahweh.
Yeah.
Okay? So get yourself prepared. So it won't be a surprise to you, and you won't be running and hiding and dodging, right? Okay, Zechariah chapter 14. So the day of the Yahweh is not as many people that think it is the weekly Sabbath or some weekly day. It's going to be in a week, but I guarantee it's never going to be on the Shabbat, because He's our example. He rested on the seventh day and created the seventh day for man. His Son did the same thing, so you know it ain't going to be no Sabbath. Okay, we can have Yom 1, Yom 2, Yom 3, Yom 4, Yom 5, Yom 6, but not Yom 7. Okay? All right, where did I say go?
Zechariah 14.
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1 says,
Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh,
mm-hmm.
and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee.
So, your spoils, all that you have collected, going to be divided in the midst of you when the day of Yahweh comes. It don't be no good to you.
That's right. Ain't good. No
All
more.
you done heaped up and hoped up and stole and and did all kind of ways to get it, ain't going to be no good to you. It's going to be divided. Those spoils going to be divided what? With who? The righteous.
Praise our Yahweh. Praise Him. That's right. That's right. Praise
So,
Him.
So you better get ready so you can get on the train. Or the train's going to be leaving pretty soon.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be left. Look at Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2 and 3. So, Second Thessalonians. It's rolling off my mouth okay, right? Rolling off my tongue, all right, I should say. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. And it reads,
That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Mashiach is at hand.
so you don't have to be troubled. Don't let nobody trouble you telling that it's here. Yahweh don't no man know.
That's right.
Well, we have signs to know that it's when it's getting near. So once we see some of those signs happening, we know that it's getting near. So we know we're supposed to get what? Press closer for the mark, right? Press more harder for the mark to make sure that we'll be ready when it comes, right? Next verse says,
Let no man deceive you by any means.
right,
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
well, we know that it has been a falling away from Yahweh.
Yeah.
People have fell away from Yahweh, so therefore we know that day is coming. Or we go and look around, we see that there's a falling away from Yahweh.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong, they want to make it right.
Uh-huh.
Everything is right, they want to make it wrong.
That's right. Teach it
So
that
therefore
like
it's a
it is.
falling away from Yahweh.
Yes, it has.
Everything that Yahweh forbid, they want to make it good.
Uh-huh.
Okay? The forbidden fruit, they want to make it good fruit.
Right, right. Teach it that
Well,
like it is so the people can know.
You can legislate it as good fruit, but with Yahweh it's still bad fruit. Okay?
Yeah. That's
It's-
right.
And you're gonna be punished for that. So better get off that wagon and get on another one, cause
Right. Better repent.
Yeah.
Turn to Yahweh.
you're getting yourself deeper and deeper
Yeah.
till you won't want to return.
Huh.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's look at Yeshaya chapter 13. So we seen when we went to Yeshaya chapter 2, where it's a time when Yahweh arises to shake terribly the earth.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a shaking going on.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Think you did an earthquake or something. Not then. To the day of Yahweh.
it's a time of destruction from Elohim. So it's going to be a time of destruction.
Yeah.
So it ain't no hiding place. Chapter 13 and verse 6. 13 and 6 says, when you get it,
Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
howl ye, for the Yowm of Yah is at hand.
Yes, it is.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty or El Shaddai.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if that ain't enough, look at Joel chapter 1 and 15. You don't have to go there, but I'm just saying you can write that down in your note. Joel, we probably going to go there, but I'm just giving it to you now, just in case I don't get there, okay?
Uh-huh. Praise
So
God.
skip down to verse 9. And that chapter, verse 9 says,
The same chapter.
yeah,
Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
so if you're a sinner, you're going to be destroyed.
Yes, yeah. Plain and simple. Thus says Yahweh.
That's a part of the wrath that's coming
Yes, it is.
for the sinner. So if you're a sinner, then stop being a sinner
That's right.
so you won't get destroyed.
Mm.
So the day of Yahweh will be okay for you because you won't be destroyed because you made the change. But if you stay where you are, he just told you it's a day to destroy sinners. That means you don't believe him. That's why you are called a sinner. Because you don't believe. If you believe him, you be called a believer.
That's right. Praise Yahweh. Yahweh.
Okay.
Yahweh, you got authority,
But
Yahweh.
since you are not a believer, then you are a sinner.
Uh-huh.
Praise Abba Yahweh.
Praise God.
And we're going to get to that scripture. I didn't know I was that close to it. But let's look at Joel chapter 1 and verse 1 and 15. Joel chapter 1 and verse 15. I didn't know I was that close to it. Praise Abba Yahweh.
Praise God.
And you got it, you can read.
And last for the day. For the day of Yahweh is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come.
Yes, it will. Praise
So
God.
Again, how many times can you be warned?
I know, right?
As for the Yowm of Yahweh is at hand, as a what? Destruction from the Almighty. It's come to what? Destroy.
Yeah.
For what? For the Almighty. For El Shaddai. Shall it come? Yes, it's going to come.
It is.
I already read Isaiah 13:6, or did we? We're going to get there soon later. Yeah, we did read it. That's right. We just read it. So it's not changing.
No, it's not.
It's not
From the old to the
changing.
new. From the old to the new.
It's not changing.
One book.
So we see these things, and Yahweh using this and being redundant and repeating it continually, and then we don't take heed.
That's right. He wants us to get it.
We have to hit our own self upside the head for not getting there, right?
Right. Tell it like it is.
Because he's been constantly warning us,
Yeah.
and we've been constantly ignoring him.
That's right. Been ignored.
All right. Stay in the book of Joel and look at chapter 2 and verse 1. So he wants you to get it.
That's right.
So here it may be talking about a literal trumpet, but we are blowing the trumpet now too.
That's right. Praise Yahweh.
All the people that read Yahweh word and giving you information about his word by the God in the rock dark, they are blowing the trumpet. The trumpet, when you tell people about the word, that's warning, okay? Whether you got a trumpet or a shofar, you're warning, okay? I can warn you with the shofar by blowing and let you know, and you come to know the different sounds, what it means, and then you know you take the warning and what it's for.
That's right.
Now when we read the word, we blowing the trumpet to it by letting you being informed of what's going to happen, what Yahweh says is going to happen, and what Yahweh says is going to happen is going to happen.
Yes, it is. Just says Yahweh.
Well, they say that's a affirmative.
Yes, it is.
Okay? All right? The day of Yahweh in chapter 2 of Joel in verse 1 says,
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion,
yeah,
and a sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
yeah,
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble,
mm-hmm.
for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
Yes, it is.
It's nigh at hand. It's not far off. It's not farther than it used to be.
No, it's not.
Okay? It's closer than it ever been before.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is going to be closer.
Yep.
Okay? So, since you know these things, don't be caught off guard. Because you have been warned to flee the wrath of Yahweh. All right, look at Numbers chapter 10 and verse 5. Numbers chapter 10 and verse 5. Numbers chapter 10 and verse 5. Hey, so we getting ample warning here. So,
We go.
you know, like driving down the highway, you keep seeing all these signs. Detour, the road is running out, 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 and you keep on dismissing it. Guess what? The road gonna run out.
Yes, it is. It's gonna run out. You've been warned.
So this is what that means. The road gonna run out if you don't
Yes, it is.
listen to what Yahweh said. What did I say, go there? Okay, and 5. And it reads,
When you blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward.
so what we're just talking about, when you draw an alarm, if I blow an alarm on the shofar, then you, in those days, they would know what that sound was for, because they had,
That's right.
each time they blow it, it was had a different warning, okay? So if you ignore the warning and you're supposed to get out of town, then something was going to happen to you, okay?
Yeah.
So by Yahweh having us to tell you what's going to happen, read his word, let you know what's going to happen, and you don't get on the right side, then something's going to happen to you, just like the book said.
Yes, it is.
And it's all your fault.
Yes, it is.
All right, next verse says,
When ye blow an alarm the second time,
Mhm.
then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey.
mm-hmm.
They shall blow an alarm for their journeys.
Okay, they should blow an alarm for their journey. So the ones that's going to go from the south side, they don't go. When they hear the other trumpet, they don't move.
That's
Because
right.
they're not for them.
That's right.
So people out there are believers. When the trumpet is blowing, they already heard it, so they stand on course.
That's
But the
right.
people who are
Praise
not
God,
heard,
Yahweh. Praise
haven't
God.
changed, then when the trumpet is blowing, they need to hear it. They need to inquire. What's going on? What mean this? What mean this? What should I do? What should I prepare for?
Yeah.
All right, but they're not worrying about it. They want to know about who won the playoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so who won the playoff? Did you get any money out of it? All right, Isaiah chapter 27 and 13. 27 and 13. Yahshua 27 and 13. Hey, you might have lost some money. Some people did win some money, but a lot of them lost some money,
Yeah,
okay?
that's what they mean. End up losing.
Okay,
More losers than winners.
okay, so hey, makes no difference to me who won.
That's right. Praise Yahweh.
I didn't get no money
That's right.
out of it. I didn't lose no money out of it. In fact, I didn't even watch it.
That's right. That's
Praise
right.
Yahweh.
Praise Him.
All right, what did I say go then?
Isaiah 27.
Isaiah 27, what, 13? All right. And it read?
And it shall come to pass in that day that the great trumpet shall be blown,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall come which were ready to perish in the land of Assyria, and the outcasts in the land of Mizraim,
Mm-hmm.
and shall worship Yahweh in the holy mount at Jerusalem.
Praise Yahweh. Praise yeah, we waiting on that
This
trumpet.
is our prayer here, right here
Yeah,
tonight,
yeah,
that
yeah.
this happened.
Yeah.
That this trumpet that's being blown,
Uh-huh.
not only at Yahweh and Yeshua temple, but all temples around the world, that the people will hear it. Those who are the outcasts,
Uh-huh.
they can hear it, and then they'll come and shock Yahweh.
Yes.
But if they don't hear it, then they'll stay in their same old rut,
Yes, you will.
and they be swept away in the lake of fire. So,
Uh-huh.
prayerfully that the workers of Yahweh is out there working and saying this, giving this warning to them,
Yeah.
to let them know.
Yeah.
Yahweh wants you to know, and it shall come to what? Pass in that Yowm,
That young.
that the great, what?
Great
Trumpet.
shofar.
Shall be blown.
Yeah.
The great trumpet gonna be blown.
Uh-huh.
So we blowing the trumpet is not the great one,
No, it's not.
but we preparing you for the great one.
That's right. Praise Yahweh.
Cause if you don't hear this little trumpet, you're never gonna hear the great trumpet, right?
That big one.
So we're preparing you so you can hear the great trumpet, so
That's
you can be
right.
what? Not perish. You're in the mode of perishing, right?
Right, yes, yeah.
You're in the mode of outcast in the land of Mizraim.
Yeah.
And but once you're gonna come and shock Yahweh, once you hear that great trumpet
Uh-huh.
in His holy mountain,
That's right. Get prepared now. It's this little shofar.
right? Hear the little shofar and be prepared and get on the wagon,
That's
right?
right.
Praise our Yahweh, cause He's good.
All the time, no matter what.
So you let somebody tell you ain't good,
Huh.
that's all on you.
That's right. You must don't know him.
They don't. Praise our Yahweh, but we know Him. Therefore,
Praise
we
God.
know His word is true.
Yes.
We know His word is valid.
Yes, it
That's
is.
why we are saying what we're saying.
That's right. Praise Yahweh.
All right, we're not doing this just to be doing this. We're doing this because somebody warned us.
Uh-huh.
Because we was in the perishing mode,
Right.
not having no hope,
Uh-huh.
not having no understanding
None.
about the day of Yahweh, having no understanding. We just heard some people say it was going to happen, but they really didn't expound on it that much.
That's
Okay,
right.
but we had scripture after scripture that is expounding on and letting
Yes,
us know
praise
that
Yahweh.
it's going to happen, and hopefully those who listen to this program will read these scriptures
Yeah,
themselves,
You gotta read it for yourself.
and then you have a better understanding, or you have a better appreciation
That's right.
for it when you read it for yourself,
Yep.
rather than just hear me say it all the time, right?
Right.
Praise our Yahweh.
Praise
So when we get that away, then we'll be the better off. But we don't read this, then we won't be the better off.
You won't?
Look at Obadiah, chapter 1, I believe, and verse 18. Well, there's only one chapter. And 118, I believe. 115, I'm sorry. 115. Got it? Read it.
For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen.
Mm-hmm.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Return up on your own head. Had you done, it's going to be done to you. So since you know these things, get yourself together and get out of that predicament, right?
Yeah.
Get out of the situation. When you know you're in a dire situation, get out of it. Say, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen.
Yeah.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall, what? Return upon thy own head.
That's right. That says Yahweh.
That's what he was saying in Joel chapter 1 and verse 15, in Joel chapter 2 and 1, and Joel chapter 3 and 14.
Yeah.
It's saying it's telling you the same things here, right?
Yeah.
So you have the warning. You've been warned and warned and warned and warned, and yet you're refusing to obey the word of Yahweh. That's not that you can't do it, as most popular so-called prophets are telling that we can't do what he said for us to do. And what kind of error would that be to give us something that we couldn't do and then punish us for not doing it? That doesn't make sense, does it? That does not make sense. All right, look at Isaiah chapter 34, verses 1 and 2. Yeshaya chapter 34, verses 1 and 2. Hey, people always want an excuse. They want to, and then if you have an excuse, then I can blame somebody. We see that happen way back in the garden, right?
Yeah, started in the garden.
Started in the garden. The blame game started back there. Adam blamed Yahweh. Kaaba blamed Adam. Blamed the Satan. Serpent. So it's way back there. The blame game right back there. So it happened the same old thing. So I tell you the same old thing. Blame. Hey, you can only blame yourself. Because nobody made you do nothing. You did it because you wanted to do it.
That's right.
Or you persuaded that it was better, therefore you went on and did it. So I say 34 and 1 and 2 says,
Come near, ye nations, to hear,
mm-hmm.
and hearken, ye people.
Mm-hmm.
Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it.
So Yahweh is pleading to the world, not to everybody. Not only just to Israel, to everybody.
That's right.
He said, come near, ye nations, to hear, or to Shema, and hearken. Not only just to hear, but hearken. You people, let the Eric hear. Let the Eric hear. So the Eric got to hear. The Eric got to hear. And all that's in therein got to hear. The world need to hear. And all the things that come forth of it got to hear.
Yeah.
So we come forth of the earth, we need to hear.
That's right.
If he got the earth giving us some clues, we need to hear.
That's right.
For that great and terrible day come upon us, right?
Right.
So we got the tools to avoid it. Skip down to verse 8.
For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance,
Mm-hmm.
and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
There's a controversy, it's a recompense upon somebody for not doing what he asked them to do, right? So you don't want that recompense to come up on you. Join Yahweh's team. Get on the winning side. and never leave that side, okay?
Never.
Okay. Let's look at Amos chapter 5 and verse 20. So we need to be on that side and never leave that side, because that side is the winning side, and the winning side is the only side you need to be on. You don't want to be on no other side other than the winning side.
That you can win with.
The winning side is Yahweh's side.
Yes, it is. Praise our Yahweh.
The winning team is what Yahweh says.
Just says Yahweh.
So you got to get that in your mind. Once you get that in your mind, then you could be on easy street.
Be on your way.
Just don't let Satan pull you down.
That's right.
What did I say, go? Huh?
Amos 5 and 20.
Okay, Amos 5 and 20 says,
Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?
he's repeating that, letting you know some dark times are coming.
Yeah. Very, very dark.
We're in dark times now, but they're going to get darker and darker and darker. In other words, worser and worser and
Yes,
worser.
it is. Yes, they are.
Not going to get better and better. They're going to get worser and worser until we turn back to Yah.
That's
If
right.
you don't turn back to Yah, worser and worser and worser. Turn back to Yah, better and better.
Yes, it is.
But since we know that's not going to happen, it's going to be worser and worser and worser, right?
Uh-huh.
Because people refuse to turn back.
Yeah, that's it.
They refuse to give up what they call their liberty, which is no liberty, right?
Yeah.
But that's what they want to do. We can't stop them.
Uh-huh.
All right, Yahshua chapter 2 and verse 12. Yahshua chapter 2 and verse 12.
Yeah. Praise
So,
our Yahweh.
when you get in that state and you don't want to change, bad things happen,
Yeah. Happen to you now.
and you
Versus
let the devil tell you, oh, that was just happen chance. No,
Uh-huh.
that happened because it's been pronounced to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
things have been predicted going to happen. All unrighteousness is going to have to pay.
Yeah.
You have to pay. That's a penalty.
Yes, it is.
That's a penalty for unrighteousness. That's a penalty.
Yes, it is.
That's why Yahweh have this law to let you know there's a penalty when you don't do what I say.
That's right.
There's a penalty.
Yes, it is. There are
So if he didn't have a law to tell you don't do this, then he couldn't have a penalty.
That's right.
But since he got a law to tell you don't do this, then there's a penalty
Yes,
come
it
with
is.
it,
Yes,
okay?
it is.
So we had what? Yahshua chapter 2 and verse 12, and it reads,
For the day of Yahweh Sabaoth shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought down.
Yeah.
you're going to be brought down low. We read that in Yowm 46 and 10 when we first started off, right? So it's letting you know you got yourself lifted up, you're going to be brought down. You think you're too high that Yahweh can't bring you down?
Huh.
Just start reading his word and see all the kings and stuff that he lifted them up, and he also brought them down. He can make you and he can break you, all right?
Can.
So
Can.
get right, so you don't have to get broken.
That's right.
That's what you should try to
Right,
do.
so you can get his blessing.
Get right so you can get his blessing, so you won't get broke.
Yeah.
So if you want to be broken, keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you're gonna keep on getting what you get.
Yeah, yeah.
Things are never gonna get any better for you if you keep doing contrary to Yahweh's word.
That's it.
You can believe that, and you can take that to the bank with you, okay? Look at Matthew chapter 16 and verse 28. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 28. 16 and verse 28. Got it? Read it.
Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
So that we're talking to some of those that we're talking to the disciplined ones there, the disciples, and that occurred. They seen him on Mount Figuration come in his glory, in his glorified body. So therefore, never say the things are not going to happen that Yahweh says is going to happen, right? All right, in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10. 2 Corinthians. Wow. Wow. Bad day. So the day of Yahweh, we should have a better understanding that it's not the good time that the people have predicted to us in the world when we were coming up, okay?
Right.
It's not that kind of a day,
No, it's not. The day of vengeance.
said Yahweh. Hallelujah. And I said, go where?
2 Corinthians 5 and 10.
I said, for 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and 10?
Yes.
Okay, and it read?
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach,
Mm-hmm.
that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad.
So, whether it be good or bad, you're going to be a judge, okay?
That's right.
So, if you know you're going to be judged, try to put your goals to do what? Good. So, you're going to get judged, and you'll be judged for the good things you did. So, therefore, you get the reward that you're looking for, to be in the kingdom with the Messiah and all the righteous people. Instead of being in the lake of fire with Satan and his demons,
That's right.
you'll be in the kingdom with Yahweh and his peoples, right?
Right.
So, I know that's where you want to be.
Yes. That's right.
Even though you don't want to do what it takes to do to get there,